Hello and welcome back to Spekd, and today I have Warhammer Conquest issue 60 and we have so many models today, but they're all Poxwalkers. Either way, they're still models to paint, so let's get it open. Time for brutal opening. Open. That opening. There we go. Let's recycle that. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's get those out of the way and let's take a quick look at the sprue. As always, our sprue check. Move out of the way of the camera and looking lovely. You know what? Even if these had defects at this point, would it make any difference? They're Poxwalkers. The good thing about this is the second half of that Dark Imperium Poxwalkers set. As we can see, I call this one the multi-Poxwalker. The one with the lab coat. You know, Rick and Morty. Should really call him Rick, but you know, he's not as cool as Rick. So let's put that over there. There's our bases, and they look about 25mm standard Poxwalker bases. And we have one large base, and that was for the Champion Plague Marine, which was left over, and I have put the pieces aside in my bits jar. Yes, and I think it was from issue number 46, if I remember rightly, with the fetid bloat drone and the Deathguard magazine. Right, okay, let's have a look. So we've got Poxwalkers, Chaos Knights information, and the final battle. Yes, because we do have a new battle map, and we'll go through that and I'll show you that. I think you did get to see it with some of the Sons of the Phoenix that I show you, but that's another time. Anyway, so I've got Chaos Knights, showcase, models themselves, the Glorious History, the Restless Dead, what have we got? The paint, the build, and the battle. Now there's one thing I will say I've noticed about these Conquest magazines already, is when they release these items, Games Workshop has a new version or an equivalent or like an alternate version of the model. And that's all well and good, but I'm thinking if you start getting this, then you're kind of behind in the kind of new items which is out there, but it gets you into a pattern of buying, which is quite good. If you had missed all of this stuff and you started from all the new gear, then this is a way of accessing that old gear, because I've noticed that a lot of places don't stock a lot of the materials now, especially the Dark Imperium gear, as it's moving on. Okay, so Forces of Chaos, we've got information on Chaos Knights, and these are different to the Imperial Knights. Now each of these knights are controlled by, it's kind of like a suit of power armor, a robotic armor I should say, and they're normally controlled by one pilot. They get in there, they do their thing, but if the pilot becomes corrupted, the suit can become infected. I think it's called something like Rogue Code, I can't remember right now, and they just basically get turned over to the Chaos side. So having a look here, I've actually got this model, not with the reverse legs, I think this is updated version, the Renegade box set, and we've got the Knights models looking there, Chaos Knights, yep, there we go. You could take your Knight if you got one of these, and the sprue that we had with all the spikes on for the Chaos Rhino, which I said just hold on to, you could just throw that on there and then upgrade your standard Knight to a Chaos Knight, and it doesn't look too bad. Here we've got the showcase for the Chaos Knight there, and I do like the white and the weathering there with the yellow orange. That's a really good effect, and I might use some of that for my Marines. Now, oh, look at that. The Dreadbrain Knight. That is awesome. See, I love the Tyrant. It looks great. You know, with all those weapons, it's like the equivalent of a repulsor, but for knights. And it's just Hellblaster good. Right, it's a collection of knights there. I mean, if you get one or two of these on the table, it takes up a lot of your points. They get work done, but I'll be perfectly honest, if you go first, you get to use it. If you don't go first, everybody's going to fire everything at them all the time. And with some of the strategies these new guys have got, like for the Imperium Fists, like your death throwing out mortal wounds on 5s, you're going to lose your knights to a bunch of aggressors. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Before I go any further, there is a version of this knight which is on the Imperium side. Not this one in particular, but just the knight in general. that if you destroy the knight model, you actually have the pilot jump out and you can use a separate character. You can have them hold objectives, and they've actually got weaponry, etc. It's pretty cool. And there was a Battle Force box set that came out, I think, for the Apocalypse game. So if you do want to get these and get the little Warglaves, you can, not these particular Chaos Knights, but the standard Knights, you can buy that Battle Force box set and get one for the Apocalypse, the Apocalypse box set, if they're still going. I'll promise myself one for a birthday or something. Anyway, we've got some more history here. Again, as I was saying, you can play these out. As always, as historical battles there. Got some nice Ultramarines and Imperial Fists working together there. You don't see that often. And we've got lore information there, a bit shiny screen. We've got instructions, and they're talking about options here for the, the Plague Marine Champion, but don't bother with the bolter. Just give them the plasma pistol and be done with it. It's the better weapon of the two, and you would have that from issue 46. Poxwalkers, straightforward, but we've got lots of good designs there, very unique, and they look like fun to put together. They've got a lot of detail on them. I'm quite surprised, considering that these are like small models which are considered throwaway models. They're quite intense with detail. It's nice. Okay, painting guides. When it comes to Poxwalkers, what I honestly do with the paints we've gotten from Conquest is just colour them in the paints that I don't use often. So the ones that I can use up, like the blues, that's for their jeans, for their tops, etc. That's what I do there. There's no sense doing anything different. And you can see there the difference between the two. Now you will get a second sprue of Poxwalkers, which will then give you the option to go between the two of these. So that makes sense that they're giving you two. I would again just go for the plasma option. For more functionality. We've got enough bolters as it is. So anything interesting there? Alright, that's good to see. This is really funny because that hammer actually looks like it's made out of wood. So it's good to see that. I wonder if they're going to decay it pure Nurgle style. Piping, good. It's good to see there. Highlighting, nice. I wonder if they're going to supply some rusting paint. Right, okay, so the mission, that's key. So we've got the retreat now. So the Deathguard has thoroughly corrupted the city. When you actually play these missions, it does fall in line with that, strangely enough. Especially the last mission, it was definitely in favour of the Deathguard. So yeah, so lore and story, and when we have this section, we know we're getting a new map, which we will see, but look at that. A sea of models. Now, I might sound really surprised by this, but I've actually got a collection now which is actually quite comparative for this. It seems like a lot, but that's with good lighting and a good bases there, or a good battle map and terrain. But when you think about it, it's only a few squads there. So more than likely, you've at least got a good half of this anyway. If you're getting a Conquest. And if you've been collecting models for any period of time, you probably have got more than this. But it looks so epic. Alright, okay. So the mission, so what's our mission here? Are we trying to escape? Yes, I think we're trying to escape. That was the... Place 2 objective markers, Deathguard. Must be more 6 from the edge, 8 from the other one, control. Okay, so control. Objective markers at the end of the game as usual. And what have we got here? Lord Felfius, Malignant Plague Caster, Tainted Cohort, 7 Plague Marines. I like the way they always use 7 noble number. 20 Poxwalkers, finally. 10 Chaos Cultists. Don't forget to use that stratagem, which turns any dead characters back into Poxwalkers, and also your bonuses for your Poxwalkers. And Plague Burst Crawler. Okay, so what have we got here? Captain Gravis Armor, Lieutenant Calcius, Primaris Librarian, 10 Intercessors, 5 Hell Blasters, and Redemptor Dreadnought. Redemptor's got the shots to get rid of the Poxwalkers, that looks good. Hell Blasters, I still find it tough to work on that Plague Burst Crawler. This is a victory for Lord Felfius, I think. He's had a rough time, but I think he'll make it. Yeah, I suppose if you combine that with Lord Felfius' ability, which gives a bonus to the Poxwalkers' toughness and strength. And I think is it putrescent vitality also gives a bonus. You can make those Poxwalkers extremely tough. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's have a look. What I'll do is I'll get the models together and then we'll have a look, see what we've got. So these are the Poxwalkers. I haven't quite finished them yet, but I just wanted to have something to show you, especially with the design details. Even at this stage you can see them popping. Now my favourite is this guy here with a bionic arm. You know, that's just such a cool idea. Well done, Games Workshop. I decided to change the lab technician over, so it's a leather jacket now rather than a lab coat. I think it looks better. The dynamic pose on these are brilliant, and I think they're done really well in keeping that design aesthetic just so clean, even though it's like so mottled and bumpy and rounded and organic. They've done really well to keep those clean edges, so well done. So let me bring in the champion. So the Plasma Plague Marine was quite simple. Just add in the usual Deathguard colours using the sponging technique that I use for Typhus, weathered, rusted, corroded, same as the Plague Burst Crawler tank. And I tied him in with the purple using the same technique that I use for the Biologist Putrefier and the other Plague Champion and the Lord of Contagion. Okay, just going to say the lensing on the eye was done the same, except I did a highlight for the yellow, which was the same as a bloat drone. Other than that, I think that's a really nice addition for the Deathguard models. I'm really impressed with the way that these models all kind of work together and how they remain consistent. And that was thankfully from finding that pattern right in the beginning of using that sponging technique, and it's all held together really well. It's kept the theme. So the first set of Poxwalkers I will go back and update to match the new ones. Same with the Deathguard. Okay, let's get back to it. Our next issue, which is our objectives, which are always handy. Servo Hauler. We actually get 2 in there, so I'm really surprised. That might be a double issue worth picking up to buy. Because having these on terrain, especially something like Genestealer Cult, would look really good. That would be quite fun. They should have some rules for those. That should be pretty cool. And yeah, overall that wasn't a bad issue. Lots of models, like 11 models, so that's always fun. It kind of feels like a redemption from when they gave us only like, what was it, 6 models in the 4th issue? Or yeah, I think it's a 4th issue with more Poxwalkers. We just had some Poxwalkers, or it was like issue number 8. It was only like 3 issues away. I know they're going to be doing this again, so we'll be seeing more Poxwalkers. But it is what it is. You know, we need to fill out those spaces. But I'm quite pleased with that. The models came out well, and I look forward to getting them on the table. And I am going to have to update my old Poxwalkers to match. But yeah, that's a nice kind of intro magazine, especially if you got this, and you know you got your character, you call them a champion, and it's kind of done for the minute, and you have a little introduction game. That's pretty cool. Either way, I've enjoyed my time. I hope you've enjoyed yours, and I hope you have fun playing your games. In future, I will be. No, that's for another time. Either way, this has been Spekd. I've enjoyed my time. I hope you enjoyed yours. And as always, PC out.